Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with 3 oddly specific kitchen gadgets. Each one of these products has a very specific use, but are they necessary and do they work? Let's find out in today's video, starting with the one-slice pizza skillet. This is the Jokari pizza skillet. I paid $29.99 for this on Amazon, where it currently has a 4.2 star rating among a whopping 22 reviews. Now they claim you can bring leftover pizza back to life with this non-stick pizza reheating pan. Say goodbye to microwave sogginess. Reheat 2 small slices or 1 large slice, preserving its original taste and texture. They say it has a ventilated lid, non-stick surface, dishwasher safe. They say it saves space over full-size pans for storage. Here's the lid, maybe a little bit on the cheap feel inside. That doesn't mean it won't work though. And there we go. Very cool. That's pretty cool. A pizza shaped pan. Now people on Amazon who like this, they say it has amazing results. Works great with pizza, turning out crispy and delicious. They say it's heavy duty and well made. Not a lot of cons because there's not a lot of reviews, but some people said that it's too small to fit most slices of pizza. Now my initial thoughts are, first up, who has leftover pizza? Also, who only makes a 1 slice? But for my test, here's what I'm gonna do. I have a cold slice of Sbarro pizza here. These are fairly large slices. Oh, it does fit, it fits the Sbarro. That's a fairly large slice. If it fits that, it should fit most slices. I was afraid that wasn't gonna fit, so I have a kind of a low end Red Baron slice here. That definitely fits. So all right, so I'm gonna do both these. I'm gonna wash this off, and we're gonna head over to the stove, and we're gonna start making some leftover pizza. While this is preheating, let's look over the instructions here real quick. First up, they say to preheat the skillet, which I'm doing. Add cold pizza, cook for 2 minutes. Add 2 drops of water, not 2 teaspoons, not 2 tablespoons, but 2 drops of water, and they say not on the pizza. Then the lid for 1 minute, and then enjoy. As if you really need that for a step. Do you really need that as a step? I guess I needed to fill in the space there so it wasn't 5, but I guess that's the last step, is to enjoy it. So we're gonna let this preheat, and then it's time to get started. Now the instructions didn't say how hot to put the stove, so I just put it on 5. And I'm assuming it's preheated now. It's been several minutes. So here we go, dropping in the Sbarro pizza. Now we let it go 2 minutes. I have my timer set. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Now I should point out, they did not say to put the lid on until after the next step, so I'm leaving the lid off. All right, the 2 minutes are up. Now I'm supposed to add 2 drops, not on the pizza. I'll just put it over here, I guess. 2 drops. And now we replace the lid and set the timer for 1 minute. It's steaming up in there. My question is, does a 3 minutes apply to all sizes of pizza, all thicknesses of pizza? Maybe. I guess we'll see if it applies to this piece in about 30 more seconds. All right, our 1 minute is up. Let's feel the top of this pizza and see how it feels. I don't know if that feels really hot enough. Kind of lukewarm. I'm gonna let it go another minute. It's kind of a big piece. I'm going another minute. The top of that doesn't feel quite done. It's lukewarm, but it's not hot. All right, another minute is up. Let's feel the top of this here. That feels pretty good. Let me get this out of here. Let's give this a taste and see how it turned out. I mean, it certainly feels crispy and done. I feel like I had to go that extra minute though. It seemed like it was just kind of lukewarm on the top. We don't need that. We got to have it warm. Here we go. All right, well that's hot and crispy. Definitely crispy. Does not have leftover pizza vibes whatsoever. Now I've warmed up leftover pizza in pans before. Doing it on the stovetop is not anything new. But I mean, the pan is kind of small, space saving. Does seem to be optimal for this size of pizza. I think with this larger piece, it did work. Let's try my smaller Red Baron and see how that goes. I don't think I'll need the extra minute for this one, but we shall see. All right, Red Baron time. It is preheated. Sticking it on there, we'll go 2 minutes. 2 drops of water, not on the pizza. Covering with a lid. Set the timer for 1 more minute. We shall see. All right, our 1 minute is up. Let's check this one. I'll do the finger check. That still doesn't feel done. 1 more minute. Both times the 1 minute in the instructions was not enough. All right, 1 more minute is up. Let's try this now. That feels much closer. Let's get this out of here. All right, Red Baron taste test here. It does feel crispy. It does feel crispy. Crispy. Here we go. Good. All right, I mean, as far as I can tell, that came out perfect. But let's talk about the pros and cons of this pan now. I would say overall it does work. The non-stick surface seems to work pretty well. It is space saving. You can pretty much fit it anywhere. And there's a bit of a geek factor to it if you're a pizza lover. The cons would be it's 30 bucks. You can do pretty much the same thing with almost any pan. Their instructions is a little bit iffy. I feel like you should probably put the lid on the entire time and go an extra minute. The other thing is not everybody likes really crispy pizza. When you do it on the stovetop, it's usually pretty crispy. Do you want that crispy? Not everyone does. Is it necessary? Probably not. Pizza lovers may disagree. But on the other hand, it's kind of weird, it's kind of niche, and fans of pizza might want to get it for that reason alone. But these are my 2 tests, your mileage will vary. Next up, it's a product that's designed for crimping and sealing tortilla shells. It is the Crimpit. This is the Crimpit. I paid $19.99 for this. Currently has a 4.2 star rating among over 5,200 reviews. Kind of on the cheap side, not gonna lie, but they claim that it's a no-mess tortilla sealer. No more fillings falling out. Just fill, crimp, heat, and eat. No more boring snacks. In one place on Amazon, they say it's made in the USA. Another place, they say it's made in the UK. Who knows? They say it's non-toxic, easy to clean, and dishwasher safe. Now, those on Amazon who liked it, they say it's great for burritos, seals nicely, or it's fun to use. Now, those who didn't like it, they say it only works well with large tortillas, doesn't work at all, doesn't seal well, or it's overpriced. I'll have to look these over, and then we will get started. I have washed it off. I've read over the instructions. I think I'm about ready to get started. First thing to note, the instructions say to use 10 to 12 inch shells. So if you're hoping to use one of these smaller soft taco sizes, ain't gonna work. Too small. Now we know. But the way the instructions work is you're supposed to put your tortilla on top here, add your filling, and then they say to either microwave it for 20 seconds to soften the shell or add some water around the edges to moisten it. Most people on Amazon did both, so that's what I'm gonna do. Then all you have to do is crimp it and then heat it up. That's the plan at least. Sounds pretty simple. All right, so my first test, I'm just gonna do it with no filling whatsoever. I just wanna do a tester to see how it works. Shells are cheap, filling's not. So I'm gonna do a quick test with no filling whatsoever. So what we're supposed to do is place it on here and then microwave it for 20 seconds, and I'm gonna add water to the edge. Let's do that next. All right, my shell is soft and warm. Now what I'm gonna do is, most people said they would just get their finger moist, moistening my finger, and they just go along the edge here. Folding, and there's a bit of a resistance there. I could feel it crimp. I could feel it smash into the shell. I got some shell hanging off here. I guess that doesn't really matter. And let's see what we've got here. All right, so it looks pretty well crimped here. I feel like that, that kind of worked. I got a fold there. That's not good. All right, so now what I would normally do is just heat this up. But this is just a practice to see how it worked. And is that sealed? It's pretty well sealed. I think the warming plus moistening is the way to go. That's pretty well sealed there. So thank you, shell, for your service. Now it's time to do it for real. I'm getting this thing out of here. This is bothering me. I'm gonna start off with a basic one. I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna do 3 for this review. My first one, very basic. I'm just putting cheese in there to see how that works. I'm gonna keep these instructions here and double check them as I go. They also tell you to make sure to leave some room on the edges, which I will do. It's funny, their Amazon video shows quite a bit of space around the edges. Their packaging, that's not a lot of space. I don't think that's gonna crimp. I think that's too much. I think they overfilled it. They overfilled it on their packaging. And by the way, this shell is not perfect. There's a fold there, but you're not gonna get perfect shells. You gotta work with what you got. I'm not gonna have a pristine perfect shell every time I do a test. You gotta do a real world test here. All right, it's warmed out of the microwave. Now we're gonna moisten the edges here. I'm moistening. They say to use a brush, but my finger works just as well. All right, here we go. We're folding it over and pressing down on the crimping lid. I feel like squeezing it a little bit better. Isn't it better to squeeze it? Is it better to squeeze or better to push? I don't know. Now remove the sealed tortilla and it looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of all this excess there. I guess I could just cut that off if it really bothers me. All right, I've got a pan that's just been preheating with a tiny bit of oil so I can crisp it up here. Just place it inside. Now I did, just for aesthetic purposes, cut a little bit of that excess off because it's kind of ragged looking. I think it looks a little bit better with it trimmed down like that. So I'm gonna fry this up and let you know how it turned out. All right, this looks like it's pretty well crisped up. Let's go give this a taste and see how it turned out. All right, this is just my basic test here. Let's take a quick bite of this, see what we got going on. I'm gonna cut this in half, kind of like a quesadilla here. I didn't put a lot of cheese in there. I didn't want to waste cheese in case it didn't turn out, but it held, nothing leaked out. I probably could have put a lot more cheese in there, but only so much cheese I want to try here. Here we go. It's perfect. It's like a cheese quesadilla that's sealed, basically. It's a sealed cheese quesadilla. It came out perfect and did not leak. So I think the first test was a success. But this was a softball. This was an easy one. Come on now, James. You gotta move up to the next level, which I'm gonna do in the next round. Something that has a much more potential to leak. Let's try that next. Time for round number 2. One quick note here. One thing I also noticed in the last round when I pick it up is it tends to do this, and you're supposed to have your filling in there. You gotta be careful. You put your filling in there and you're not careful, it's gonna spill all over the place. But for this one, I'm gonna fill this up with some wet taco meat. I don't know how much I can really go here. They say not to overfill it, so I'm gonna try not to overfill it. But I also don't wanna underfill it either. I think I underfilled the last one a little bit. Put some cheese on there, maybe a little bit of Frank's. That might be good. Now microwave it for 20 seconds. All right, I'm gonna go around the edges here with some water. Time to crimp. Folding it over. Pressing down. And in my case, giving it a good squeeze. Make sure it's properly crimped here. And hopefully it's good. It looks pretty good, except for all that excess there. It doesn't look like it's gonna leak, but let's go throw this on the stove and fry it up. All right, this is preheated with a little bit of oil once again. I've cut out the excess just for aesthetic purposes once again. Now this is a much heavier tortilla pocket here. Got a lot more stuff in there, so we'll see if it actually leaks or not. All right, this looks pretty well crisped up. Nothing leaked out of there, so let's pull this out of here and check the seal a little bit more closely. All right, here it is. Let's check the seal. It looks like it opened up just a little bit on the top there, but nothing leaked out of there. Is that still a success? Maybe. To me, the fact that it didn't leak out is a success, but I can see how that would be an utter failure if there was something a little bit more wet in there. Oh, I got a little bit of oil leaking out of there. Not a big deal, though. That's pretty good. Even though the seal broke a little bit at the top, especially like this, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable. But I got one more thing I want to try. So let me eat a little bit of this and then have some dessert. I've got one more test here. This one's gonna be a little more tricky. I'm gonna try doing a dessert in here. I'm gonna try to put it in my air fryer without making the ingredients too hot. Can it be done? We shall see. My choice for this is going to be peanut butter and banana, two of my favorite ingredients. And I have my air fryer over here already preheating. I'm not really sure how to do this. I'm gonna take a shot at it. This might be a total disaster, but it'll be fun anyways. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Some banana slices. I'm gonna go put this in the microwave for 20 seconds. Moisten the edges, and then we're gonna see how it air fries up. All right, my air fryer just finished preheating. I'm gonna moisten the edges here. I don't know why I'm laughing, but there's something funny about this to me. I don't know what it is. Crimping. Pressing down. I like to give it a good squeeze. Pressing down is one thing, but when you getting your grip in there, you're gripping it. All right, here we go. Beautiful crimp. Now let me slide this air fryer over here. Adjust this camera so you can see a little better. Hopefully this fits. Well, it kind of fits. If it was trimmed down more, it'd probably fit a little better, but we're gonna go with it. Now the idea here is to crisp it up without just baking it completely. I'm going 380 for 3 minutes. I have absolutely no idea if that's a good choice or not, but I'm going with it. So I'll come back in 3 minutes and let you know what happened. All right, 3 minutes is up here. Let's see. Oh, it crisped up. It crisped up. Crisped up. Air fryer, thank you for your service. Well, the good news is that it didn't leak at all, and that seal is perfect. There's no leaking areas whatsoever in there, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna let this cool down just a little bit. I'm not sure how much I really like hot peanut butter. Warm, maybe. Hot, I don't know. But I'm gonna let this sit for a minute, and then we're gonna cut this open. But I think really, in 3 tests, the seal did pretty well on all 3 of them. But let me give this a quick taste test and after it cools down a little bit, and then give you my pros and cons. All right, I'm gonna cut this in half with a pizza cutter. I did clean off after the last brown, by the way. Let's take a look inside here, see what we're working with. We have kind of gooey, warm peanut butter in there. So let's take a look at the pros and cons of the Crimpit. The pro would be that it generally works. Usually when I have that good of luck right out of the gate, that only means it's gonna get better over time. So as far as I can tell, this does what it's supposed to do. It's pretty simple to use, and there's a lot of options and varieties of things you can make. You could even use this for meal prep like some people on Amazon said they do. So there's a lot of uses for it. Now, as far as the cons go, you're kind of limited on shell size with this particular model. 10 to 12 inches, that's it. There are other methods to achieving the same thing without even using a product like this, which some people have used. But in the end, I think most people who see this, they're interested. If they buy it, they're probably gonna like it. But the question I have is, will I keep using this? That's something I'll have to figure out down the road. My final product is designed to help upgrade your hot dogs, and that is the Slotdog. This is the Slotdog. It's a hot dog slicing tool. Costs about 20 bucks on Amazon. Where it currently has a 4.4 star rating among over 5,000 reviews. And that's all there is to it. And it has their name right across the front of it there. It's kind of large. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. I've done other hot dog scores, none of them this big before. Just because it's big doesn't mean it won't work. It actually means it'll probably fit a lot of different hot dog sizes. But they say you can say goodbye to boring hot dogs. Slices perfect crisscross slots in your hot dog that expands while cooking. The juices and toppings penetrate more deeply. They say it's got stainless steel blades and dishwasher safe. Now, people on Amazon who liked it, a lot of people said it worked as advertised. Very easy to use, and they said that it did, in fact, improve the texture and quality of the hot dogs they made. Not a lot of cons in there. Some people said it was a bit difficult to use, took a learning curve, or it was easy to slice all the way through the hot dog. So I will wash this off, read over their minimal instructions, and then we'll get started. Now, if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you might be wondering, didn't he do something like this already in the past? I have. I've done hot dog gadgets, I've done scores, I did the curl dog, which is similar, but I have not done the slot dog. And I have to admit, I bought this quite a few years ago. I've been holding on to it, waiting for this exact moment. I have two different size hot dogs. I have the classic size and I have the bun size. I'm gonna try scoring all these. Now, the instructions say, first up, to use a rocky motion back and forth, like this. That should be easy. They also say to do it on a cold hot dog with no casing. That should be easy too. But they also say on here to do it on both sides, but a lot of people on Amazon are only doing it on one side, so maybe I'll do a little bit of both. I might do half with one side and half with both sides and see how it goes. And then we'll cook them up and see how they turn out. But now it's time to get started. Let's start off with a classic size hot dog here. Now what we're supposed to do is supposed to be very simple. You just place this on there, and there's a lot of size here. You could fit a giant hot dog. I don't think I'll have any problem with the bun size whatsoever. And there's something funny about the word bun size. But here we go. I'm gonna place it on there, and they say, what's weird, they say to cut it to the desired depth. How do I know what that is? I don't know. I can't even really see it, but I'm gonna come down here and look at it. All right, it's centered on there. I don't really know what the desired depth is. I'm just gonna rock back and forth. I can feel it cutting it. I feel like I've gone about as far as I can go, and it's stuck on there. Let's carefully peel it off. Oh, we have some nice crisscross cuts in there. Very nice. Let's place that down and do the same thing here. Rocking back and forth. It's a very nice looking crisscross pattern. That's my first classic length. Let's do a bun size now, which it will certainly have no problem with this. Look at the size difference. Also, I should point out, in cleaning, they say it's dishwasher safe, but there's really no way to get that blade out of there, so I'm thinking cleaning could be an issue, but who knows. Bun size next. Rocking back and forth. I kind of feel like I'm smashing a little bit. I feel like I'm smashing, so to speak. But we have beautiful crisscross here. It's really kind of hard to tell what's going on because you can't see it. I guess there'd be no way to see it, but it would be nice if you could. Now this side didn't really cut. Let me try a different one here. I don't know if that was user error or product error, but I'm gonna try again. Back and forth motion. I can feel that cut. I felt it cut. But it also feels like it smashed it a little bit. All right, taking it off here. Now these cuts look nice. Turn it over, try that again. I don't feel the cut as well this time. I feel like I'm kind of smashing the hot dog. I don't know, on these longer ones, I'm having a problem. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the smashing, but I went on Amazon, I looked up the word smash in the comments. It appeared a lot. A lot of people had the problem with them being smashed. Now the box here says, placing hot dogs in freezer for 10 minutes before use can improve the ease of slotting. So I'm throwing my hot dogs in the freezer for 10 minutes. I'll come back and try some more then. All right, here we go. These were in the freezer for about 10 minutes. They're not frozen, but they're quite cold. Let's try it again. I don't have a problem with side one, it's side two. All right, side one, I can feel it cutting. It's cut, but again, it's kind of flat and smashed. Beautiful crisscross when it works. Now side two, this is the big test. 10 minutes in the freezer like they said. Oh, I felt the cut. I think I felt the cut this time. All right, we have success. Let's try the other one now real quick before it thaws out. All right, I feel that one cut. Gently pull it out. Check my crisscross. Flip it on over. I can feel it cutting and I can feel it smashing. Cutting and smashing. You can see it's kind of smashed, but it did work. All right, I want to try a couple more of these small ones here just real quick. I'm going to try a two-sided one here. Oh, see, it cuts so much easier on that one. Maybe the brand of hot dog has something to do with how well it works. That one was perfectly cut. Side 2, cut perfectly. Wow. I think the brand of hot dog is gonna have a lot to do with how well this works, because this looks perfect. All right, I'm gonna cut one of these on just one side to see how it cooks up. All right, just one side. And one of these bun length, I'll try also one side as well. Not as well. I can feel it kind of smashing. Look at it, it's flat as a pancake, but it is scored. All right, so let me bring in this old appliance from 2020. Viewers of my channel might remember this from my hot dog gadget comparison of mid-2020. Here's kind of the final results here. You can see some of these, like this one's kind of smashed. And not even both sides are perfectly scored. Some of these are perfect though, like this one, perfect. I only did one side of that one. Perfect, only did two sides of that one. So I'll place 2 classic, 2 bun length on the roller. 2 of them were with 2 sides, 2 of them with 1 side, and we'll see how they turn out. Bun length scored on both sides going on the roller. Bun length scored on one side going on the roller. Classic size scored on one side going on the roller. Classic size scored on both sides going on the roller. This should take about 15 minutes and we'll come back and see how they turned out. These are looking pretty good. Let's take a closer look at them now. Elite Gourmet, thank you for your service. Here is the double-sided bun length hot dog, looking pretty good. Here is the bun length hot dog one side, it still looks good. The classic length, one side, looking really nice. That's very oddly satisfying. And the double-sided scoring also looks pretty good as well. You know, the smashing issue aside, the final result is pretty nice. I think that the smashing issue is going to depend on the brand you use and maybe how cold it is. Their trick for going 10 minutes in the freezer seemed to work, so I'm kind of happy with that. I'm going to place the bun length double-sided scored on this bun. It looks perfect. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of the Slotdog. There aren't many of either one. The main pro is that when it does work, it gives that nice, beautiful crisscross pattern. It's also quite large. It can hold pretty much any type of hot dog. As far as the cons go, the con is that it's kind of finicky. Even the 2 different sizes I had, it seemed like to work better on one than the other. So it seemed to either work really well or smash into oblivion. And the smashing problem, it was not unique to me. There's a lot of people on Amazon who had the same problem I did. In the end, I think it does work, provided your hot dog and the temperature of your hot dog cooperate. So in the end, I think they all work to some degree. If I had to pick one that's the most useful, it's probably the Slotdog, assuming that it works with your hot dogs. Otherwise, all bets are off. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.